Hey guys, how's everybody
Hello.
doing tonight? What?
It's 8 o'clock.
I hope you
Guys,
guys
I
are
don't know about
having a good
y'all.
week.
We are on the same schedule, Sarah. We're like on
I know.
cue. It has been a crazy week. I am so ready for this week to be over so we can start a whole new crazy week all over again. I'm saying it home.
Yeah, it has been crazy this week. I feel
Yeah.
like I hardly had time to stop.
I know. And Wyatt's graduation was this week, and then my sister got sick, and then we did take a little trip out of town this weekend, which was so nice, but it's so awkward. It's really awkward. You don't know. Well, Sarah and I were talking about this before we got online. It is just an awkward time. Nobody knows what the right or wrong thing is to do. If you go out, you have to do this, and it almost makes it not even worth trying. So I don't know. Who knows? But we had a great time. We stayed at a hotel that was pretty much desolate. You would have thought it was in the middle of, some desert somewhere. There was nobody there except for the lady at the desk. But it was better than these four walls. I have to admit it. It gave us a breath of fresh air. So it was good for our family, but I understand those that can't and don't want to. I mean, but it helped us.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I need a trip to the beach, like for real.
I'm scared if I went to the beach right now, I might actually walk out into it and never come back. That is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, we're looking at campers just so that we can just get in our own little camper and go wherever we want to. So hopefully that'll happen soon. So
we've talked about that too.
We love to travel. Yeah, we like to travel. So, I mean, he said if we got one, he said we're going out of town every other weekend. You good with that? I said, heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Just don't park me near all the bears. But I do.
The bears go for the people in tents. You're good if you're in an RV.
Now, I don't know, Sarah. Our family's got bad luck. Okay, bad luck. Okay, so we go to McDonald's on the way out of town, and you know what our bill was? $13.13.
I'm not superstitious at all.
I was like, maybe we just need to turn around and go back. But well, it was crazy. And we'll talk about, before we get into the questions, we'll let people get on. It's been a crazy, sad, terrible week.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into too much of that tonight because I think we all need a break. And I'm not devaluing what's going on right now or minimalizing what anybody's going through right now at all. So don't take that the wrong way, please. We just need a mental break. And I think everybody can say that it has just been, it's been a horrible, I can't remember when I've cried and just been so many times this week because it's just sad.
It has been really sad. And eye-opening as well, I think.
Yes.
It's sad that it takes such a terrible situation sometimes to open people's eyes, but I think it has been that, and hopefully real change will happen. But I agree with you that we like to keep this live really lighthearted. Our questions are generally pretty lighthearted. Sometimes we end up on a deeper subject, but our hearts right now in this season is to give you guys a place to relax and just have fun and laugh a little bit and learn more about each other. And that's what we really want to do through these lives, is get a chance to know you guys and you get a chance to know us and just have some fun and laugh. So that's what we're here for. If you're on, please let us know. We would love to chat.
We need some beautiful, happy faces tonight. We need to see your smiling faces, please. Who's on? Do we have Denise?
Hey, Denise.
Hello. How are you? So glad you could join us. We are so excited to be here so we can have other people to talk to besides our husbands and our kids.
Oh.
Hello. So let me ask Denise, our first question for the night is, if you could have a wild animal for a pet, what would it be?
That was the easiest question on the list for me, Sharon. Yes, it was. I want a giraffe.
A giraffe.
I so want a giraffe. I know that it's not even allowed, but unless you move to Africa or something. A tiger.
Denise, I was going to say that. Carol Baskins had me at tiger. I'm with you on that. But for a non-violent, well, I don't know, raccoons can be pretty violent if they want to be, but I would love a pet raccoon.
I would like a pet raccoon too. I saw one. I fell in love with them when I was a kid. We took some birds to one of those animal rescue places, and the lady had a baby raccoon that had been rescued, and it was playing in the hose water and crawling up all around her neck and down her shirt. And I just thought that is the sweetest thing ever. I fell in love. I wanted one so bad.
I know. We used to have a raccoon at our old house in Ohio, well, Kentucky. And my oldest dog kind of is furry and fuzzy. So I go outside at midnight, no lights are on, and I'm out, smoking a cigarette. And I go outside, and everybody else is asleep. And I see this furry thing like pouncing towards me. And I'm like, Pooh, what are you doing outside? It's midnight, what are you doing? And the next thing I know, what I thought was Pooh was patting my leg, like literally tapping my leg.
Seriously?
Like, oh, yeah. Yes, I kid you not, tapping my leg. I looked down, I almost petted him because I thought it was my dog, and then realized it was a raccoon because my husband put some food out for him.
That sounds like something I would do.
Rocky the raccoon, yeah. He was crazy. But and my second one would be a potbelly pig. Like, I think those are the cutest little things. Like love them. I love animals, except for snakes.
I do too. I wouldn't have a tiger though, because I'm deathly allergic to cats. That would probably put me in a hospital right quick. A big old cat.
Yeah, that one might do you in, Sarah.
That one would do me in.
And you don't want me near you when you go into anaphylactic shock. I can tell you that right now, because I don't know the first thing about bringing somebody back. Okay, so let's not get near a cat.
Yeah.
Well, Denise, I'm so glad you're here. Let's see. Our next question is: are you a very organized person?
I guess you know my answer.
That's a big
organized. Absolutely not. Now, I have over the last 20 years learned to be a little bit neater of a person. Like, I don't leave my stuff everywhere like I used to, but that means I just stack it all up in one spot. I definitely don't organize it. You should see my desktop right now.
Oh, this is the cleanest my house has been. I went on a tear and hung up some different paint, pictures and things, because I was like, I just need to change. I did that Monday because I was like, I'm tired of the craziness. And then, so my husband, yes, at work, I am so organized. Not with the work we do with, Sharon and Sarah shenanigans. But when I was working, yes, I was very organized at work. I knew where everything was. And my home life, it's like I can compartmentalize parts of me that can be organized and parts that can't. I am the type of person, like my husband, he gets stuck on a drawer. He wants to clean everything in the drawer. And I'm like, why? Nobody sees that. I will throw everything in the closet and a drawer just to get it off the floor so nobody sees it. Yes, I'm organized. Shoot.
I'm
Don't
the same
open
way too. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I do the same thing.
Out of sight, out of mind, right? If you can't see it, it's not there until you open the closet door. I am convinced, though, if I weren't married to my husband, that you would see me on an episode of Hoarders, and I would be one of those women that like you didn't hear from for like a month, and you're like, "What happened to Sharon?" And then like a pile of clothes had fallen on me, and I just like suffocated, pretty much. If it weren't for him, horrible. But yeah, I want to be organized, though. I do. I think we all kind of do, but there's something broken up here. Something's broken. I need to go to a psychologist.
I'm a perfectionist in certain areas, but not the ones I need to be.
Right.
If I could switch that over to the stuff like keeping my house neat and, organizing stuff, if I were a perfectionist about that kind of stuff, it'd be great.
Right. I mean, I'm OCD. Okay, I'm OCD. Believe it or not, if you saw my house like 99% of the time, you'd be like, she's not OCD. Yes, I am. Because I will find one little thing wrong in the corner and ignore everything else. Okay, the world could be falling around me, but I'm going to focus on that one little thing that's bothering me, like the picture isn't straight or something.
Right.
Let's see. Me too, but I just can't do it. Yes. God, yes. Get you, girl. You're my sister. I get it.
Oh boy. That's
Anybody
crazy.
else on here with us tonight? We got any other people? Anybody want to get on? Denise, would you like to get on with us? We'd love to see your beautiful face. Yes.
How's that possible? It's crazy. It is so crazy. I don't think I'm OCD really, but there are certain things that I'm like, it has to be perfect or I'm not okay with it. Maybe that's OCD. I don't know. But just certain things that I'm like that about.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have to ask myself, like the hoarding show, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you a 1 or a 10 in like stress when it comes to a certain thing? Because I will go off the charts over one little thing. It's crazy. Like if I'm going to clean, I can't just clean one thing and give myself grace to clean the rest of it later. No. If I start cleaning, it's getting done now. It's not, it's getting done. So I don't know if that's part of OCD or not either, but let's see. I already took my makeup off. Don't want to scare anyone. Denise, trust me, hon. You are not going to scare anybody. So if you change your mind and you'd like to get on, no pressure. We'd love to have you on. Let's see. Let's see. The next conversation piece. Let's see. How often do you stay up after 3 a.m.? Any night owls out there?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Probably because my husband gets up so early for work. And so we go to bed together around 10-ish, usually 10:30 at the latest. The only time I stay up that late, 3 a.m., is if I'm having to work on a video. Or like when we went on the girls' trip, I stayed up all night long with you girls. But
that was fun. Denise,
on the regular, I don't.
Denise, we had a girls' trip back in January, and we had a blast. And I am a night owl. Okay, so when you say 9 or 10, I'm like, I'm just getting started. Okay, that is my prime time to get going. Okay, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, forget about it. Noon even. I'm like, I have always been that way.
I can't tell you how many times I've been getting into bed and all of a sudden my messenger starts going bling, 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 bling. It's Sharon finally talking to me. I'm like, what the heck? I'm getting in bed now.
It's true. I know. My clock has been completely like messed up since I was a kid. My son's the same way. Like I will catch him up at 3 or 4 in the morning, playing a game or something. And and then he'll want to sleep the rest of the day. It's just how our bodies work. Now, my daughter, she can try so hard to stay up, but by 8, 9 o'clock, she's pretty much done. I think it's just the way that we're built, but I think as you get older too, unless you're me, time starts getting a little bit.
I've always been a night owl until recently. Like I said, because David has to be up at 5 something for work, and
Yeah.
so I've just started going to bed with him. But yeah, I worked third shift for years as a single mom. I worked from 11 at night till 7 in the morning, and then I would come home and change clothes and go to a second job. After that,
Yes.
come get the kids off the bus, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, get up and do it again. I did it for
So
years.
see, Sarah used to be totally used to these midnight videos. I mean,
Oh, I can do it. It's not a matter of I can't do it, but
let's see, I have to get up at 6 for work, so I'm a wreck if I don't go to bed early. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I completely get it. I mean, that's why the last job interview I had, they were like, well, the shift starts at 7, and I'm like, not happening. I mean, I already know I'll be fired before that even starts. Okay, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So just go ahead and pass up on that application. So, but I don't know. I can't seem to get on a schedule, and this anxiety and insomnia, just my mind. That's how my brain works. At like 10 o'clock, I'm flooded with like all these things, and I can't shut down. I just can't. My brain can't shut down. And I have tried, what is it, melatonin, and I've even dosed myself up with Sudafed, and I can't seem to get to bed. So, but maybe I should just hit myself in the head with a hammer and just go. Maybe that would help. So let's see here. Next question: Was there ever an event what is? Hold on, let me reword that. Was there ever an event that I got the word written down wrong?
I know I did.
Defied explanation. Was there ever an event in your life that defied explanation? Like it shouldn't have happened. It was weird. Like you were like, what in the defied explanation? It could be God. It could be just weird circumstances that you're like, how in the world did that happen? I've got a couple, but I don't know. I'll explain one here in a minute. Sarah, you got any?
I'm trying to see how I can say this and not. But the fact that, well, I was actually talking to my daughter about this last night because we were talking about, right and wrong and what's justice and, with everything going on. And I explained to her that I don't think justice in America is truly truly justice. I mean, in a court of law, the person with the deepest pockets generally gets the lightest sentence or no sentence at all. And so it seems to me to be either influenced or financially based rather than a true right and wrong sense of right and wrong. That's probably because I've experienced it myself. When my husband, after abusing my children, got custody of my kids. Now that defied explanation. There was no logical reason that should have happened. And so that would be the first thing that came to mind. I've also seen some miracles happen. I mean, like legit real miracles. I know a lot of people would say, I don't know if I believe you. But I've seen them with my own eyes, and there's no explanation other than, there's just really no explanation for that except God, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I don't understand it also, but
I know it's crazy. One of the things I think I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, the weekend before I met my husband, I was supposed to meet a date we were both meeting like an hour away from our homes because we wanted a middle place. This one's a fun one. My date got pulled over by a cop before he met me. I had never met him in person. And so I get a call while I'm waiting for him, and I'm thinking I'm getting stood up, right? So I'm like, great. Valentine's weekend, and so I'm in the parking lot. I get a call, and he's like, hello, Miss Miller. This is Sergeant Brian Lamberts, and your date wanted me to let you know that he's not going to be able to make it tonight. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, he's getting arrested. My cousin had arrested my date right before I was supposed to meet him. And then he proceeds to tell me that he has handcuffs in the car. He's got a domestic violence rap a mile long. And I mean, so I don't know if that was like, and there's more to that story. I just shortened it up. But so I don't know to this day if it was just happenstance, if it was, that I was supposed to meet my husband the next weekend, my current husband, or if it was that this guy was going to be Ted Bundy and kill me. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, like, what are the chances of your cousin pulling over your date? I mean, I mean, and talk about awkward, inviting your that guy to your family reunion,
Right.
Weird. But then I had one more situation. Now I do believe God, because when we moved back here from Cincinnati, about 3 years ago, our credit's not the greatest. We've had some financial bumps along the road, and we were wanting to move from Ohio to Charlotte or the surrounding area. And so we knew that it was going to be hard to find a place here from Ohio, right? Especially with challenged credit. So we found this beautiful home that we loved. The rent was in our price range. Everything was great. We were pretty much told we were going to get approved for this house. And we were driving down here to come see it. And on the way down here, we were told that someone else got the house. And I said, well, that's just great. We're already halfway there. We're not getting the house that we wanted. What are we going to do? And our lease was getting ready to run up. So we were pretty much going to be homeless if we didn't find something. So my husband said, well, there has to be a reason why this happened. I don't believe that things happen by mistake. And so we got to looking up the address, because I always keep tabs on my ex-husband. And literally his house that he was staying at was the only place you could turn in and out. He was on the corner, the only place you could turn in and out of the way to get into this neighborhood that we were wanting to go to. I'm dead serious. The only way in and out. I would absolutely have run into him. And my husband was working 90% of the time outside of the state. So I would have been stuck at home in this scary, no outlets. Like, it was only one way in and one way out, with my 2 young kids and my ex-husband on the corner. Talk about God. If that's not God, I don't know what else is. But anyway, long story. But that defied explanation.
Thank the Lord for that.
Right?
That was certainly.
I mean, talk about a bad move. Talk about a bad move. That would have been horrible.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, it was out in the country, and you only have like maybe a Family Dollar every 10 miles or something. Right. So you're going to run into him at some point, even if you whatever. But
yep.
So anyway, that didn't happen. But
so glad.
So yeah. Denise, are you still with us? Any explanation or story that defies explanation that you've lived in your life? Anybody else that's on with us? Defies explanation. Like you have no idea like how this happened or why it happened, or I don't know, tell us about your deja vu. I don't know. Any kind of story. What is deja vu anyway, Sarah? What is deja vu? Isn't that weird? Like when you feel like you've been somewhere before, and like you're what is that?
I think it's because you have dreamed of it, and then you experience it, which I know is totally weird, but that's what I think it is. I think you've been there before in your dream.
Huh.
That's
interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research on that, because it freaks me out when it happens. I'm like, what is going on? Like, you just said that like 10 minutes ago. And I'm like, no, I've never said that in my life. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I hear you, Denise, on that one. I've had some myself.
Yes. You ain't kidding. I do have one more story. And this is crazy, because I was up again at 3 a.m. the other night, and the story comes on the news. On one of those Forensic Files channels. And it was a story about Kim Medlin and the cop that had killed her. And I was pulled over by him maybe 2 weeks before she was killed. And he did the same thing to me that he did to her. I just so happened to have somebody ride by me that saw what he was doing. Like he got me out of the car for no reason. And if you read up about her, I'm not going to get into it because it's a super long story, but Kim Medlin. And in the police report, it says that other women called to complain about being harassed by the police there. I was one of them. So read that story. It's really interesting. But yeah, the Lord again. I can't explain some of these things. It's just like, I don't know why I'm still here, guys. I really don't. I have no idea. Let's have a purpose, Sarah.
Yeah.
Let's have a purpose.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or I've just cheated death. Who knows? I don't know. Let's see. The next question is, what do you do to improve your mood when you are in a bad mood?
This could be very interesting.
Well, I drink. I mean, I'll be honest. I had a little shot. I mean,
oh,
okay. You know,
the beach is my therapy, but I haven't been able to do that lately. But it's interesting because I just finished that course on cognitive behavioral therapy, became a life coach and everything, and they talked a lot about controlling your thoughts and being able to catch it when it's a thought before it causes an emotion and then a behavior, recognizing what it is and being able to change it, like say something positive instead of what your mind wants to tell you is negative, like totally changing the course of your thoughts. It was very interesting, very good, very difficult to do as well, because it's usually I'm in behavior mode before I recognize that anything's wrong. I'm angry and or over emotional, and then I have to think, oh gosh, how did I get here? But it takes practice is the thing. It takes practice, meditation, and taking time to think through how did I get here before you get used to not doing that. But I think it's great methods to help yourself from being, negative and in a bad mood and stuff like that.
Right. Unless you have multiple personalities or bipolar, because the problem with that is I've got one voice telling me, cheer up, be good. The other one's like, I don't even want to tell you what it's saying. Don't, it's like I'm constantly having to battle these demons and angels in my head all the time. Because I try to be positive, and then I've got that voice just in my head all the time. So it's like, so I either, drink a little bit, and I'm not an alcoholic by any means, but I mean, I'm not gonna turn down a drink if it helps calm my nerves. Now I can do a bath or Netflix or a trip. So yeah.
I love a trip. I love a bath. And I also enjoy just, I think for me, it's very therapeutic just to do something that doesn't require me to think, like watching TV or something like that I can just try to shut my brain off. And
right. Like,
I think a lot of times we talk ourselves into bad moods with all the thoughts that we start thinking about. Like we just let them run over and over in our heads, and the next thing you know, we're teary-eyed and sad, and all that kind of thing. And so if I can do something that'll occupy my brain but not make me use it, does that make sense?
Right.
Like
mine would be gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling. I mean, put me on a machine. I don't have to think about a thing. I mean, it's just good to go. I tell you when I'm in a bad mood is when I'm hangry. If I am hungry, and I will bite somebody's head off. I will run somebody off the road if I'm hungry. That is when I'm angriest. I want some food. Okay. Norm knows. Like if she's like that, you can forget it. And don't make me hangry and hot. Like if it's 90 degrees outside and I'm at a festival or something, and then they run out of funnel cakes. Oh, dear God bless them. God bless them.
I'll tell you what put me in a bad mood is rude people. I can't stand it. Like I will get irate, and quickness. And then I let it affect my next couple hours of the day. Can you believe they did that? That's just ridiculous. I let it get to me, just rude people. And here's the thing. And David tells me this all the time. He's like, you can't control what other people do.
I know.
Worry about you. And I'm like,
yes,
I know, but they should know better.
I know. Well, I got angry the other day. We had some guy comment on one of our videos. I deleted it immediately because I'm like, it doesn't pertain to you, because he was just being it wasn't a positive comment. Like, I don't know him, and why was he even bothering? And I know if we were to ever go viral or, get more popular or whatever, that we're going to have naysayers. That is one thing I don't know if I'm even ready for, because I'm going to tell you. So, I read some of these comments, these people that are bloggers and like YouTubers and all, people are just people have nothing better to do than to tear others down. And that just, I don't get it. If you got time to do that, then come mow my lawn for Pete's sake. Cause I need somebody to do it. Right. You got time for that business, please. Yeah. I know, but hot and hangry, girl, I'm telling you, it's like Exorcist. Okay. My head spins around. It is not good.
Oh, I love the hot. Bring it on. It was almost 90 today, and I didn't get to get out in it. I love it.
Ugh. I can't. When and before I lost the weight, if I got hot, like it was an all night like hot flash. I couldn't stop sweating. I'd have sweat in places I didn't even know had sweat glands. And I couldn't cool down. Unless I'd hopped into a cold shower. So I think I'm probably getting ready to go through menopause, which that should be loads of fun. Loads of fun.
Me too. We're in the same boat. Oh, it sucks.
And then I've got like young kids, Sarah, you do too. Here we are, like, kids in 3rd, 4th grade, and we're getting ready to go through menopause. Like, I'm gonna be out on an oxygen tank when they cross graduation.
Right. I got at least 10 more years of schooling before I'm done.
What was I thinking, having them this late in life? Really?
I don't know. I feel the same way.
My husband's like, what are you talking about? I'm 7 years older than you. He's got 1 foot in the grave, and we've got like.
Well, I got one in 4th grade and one that just turned 21.
Oh.
And then
like you were almost there. Like you were almost there, and like halfway there at least. And that's how he was with his stepchild. My stepdaughter. Mm-hmm. She was 10 years older than Wyatt, and so he basically was starting halfway over. So we love our kids. No, we're not complaining about that. But right. It's a lot more difficult when you're older to do it. I don't have the patience I used to. Well, I've never had patience. So that's not changed. But now I'm a grumpy old woman. It's hard to raise kids when you're a grumpy old woman.
I definitely have. You have one that's 33, 29, and 17. Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow.
You're about to get the last one through high school?
Denise, and I know you're feeling what I'm feeling right now. Like you were halfway there. And don't get me wrong, we love our kids, but that's hard. Like I've thought about it. Like I love the baby stage. Like I would love to have another baby in that respect because I love the infancy stage, and I like the toddler stage.
No, me.
But the infancy stage, they can lay in one spot and not move. Literally, you can leave them in one spot; they don't move. And I'm thinking like maybe the first 2 months, and then I'm done. Like no more.
I like the first nine, maybe even first year, but anyway, no more for me.
Maybe.
After my last delivery, I said I'm done. Time up. Not happening anymore. I have 5 though.
Yeah, bless it. Anybody that has more than one, so like I said, I've said this before. Some of us were more cut out to be moms than others. I am one of those that I don't know if I've got the mom gene. I try I love my kid. I do love my kids. I do. That is not in question at all. But I just think I'm a crappy mom.
You're not.
I mean, I don't know. I see all these moms that are like, they're like going to all these practices and they're cooking all these meals with their kid, and their kids know how to change a tire at age 3, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But
yeah, that's your Instagram mom. So it's not. I don't think all that's reality. True. Every mom has those days when their kids drive them absolutely crazy. I don't care. I've wanted to be a mom since I was probably 6 years old. I was planning out my family, and I enjoy being a mom. But let me tell you, there are a lot of days. I would say at least 2 out of 5 that I also feel like strangling them. I also don't have the energy I used to have to deal with them. I'm like, no. Guys, I'm tired. You're just going to have not today. Not today. That's what I was like all day today.
I got to share something cute. So my daughter, okay, now my son, he's not the one that challenges me. Okay. He is my people pleaser. He doesn't listen. Sometimes he's on ADD medicine. So that's my biggest challenge with him, is that he doesn't listen. And I have to repeat myself and I get aggravated about that. And he's not the cleanest person in the world when it comes to keeping his room clean. But he's a boy, I get it. Okay. And then there's Riley. Bless it. If she's not like me, I swear it's like I'm fighting my own worst enemy. I love her. But let me tell you what she did this week. It was so cute. Okay, so she is my mess maker. She can mess up in a hot minute. Anything, okay? She just loves making mess. She's my creative one. She likes to do art, things like that. And so she walked outside. I got to post pictures on Facebook tonight. Well, that just reminded me. So she did 2 cute things, actually. She went and made a lipstick, Sarah, with cookie sprinkles. She walks out with black lips, cookie sprinkle. It looked like a Halloween cupcake on her lips.
She breaks out on YouTube.
She got paste for her lips. Then I come back in, and the girl has cleaned my bathroom, and she has got this thing like you're in a spa, laid out in the bathtub with a champagne glass with juice in it, so it looked like wine, and some soaps and like nail stuff and lotions, all laid out in the bathtub for me, and candles. I mean, it was so sweet. But she challenges me. But when she does something sweet, that's what makes it even more special, because I know, she's me.
Yep.
Let's see. Denise, what did you say? I'm with you. I had my daughter at 18, so I grew up as I raised her. It wasn't easy, and I made a lot of mistakes. Denise, there's good and bad with that. I can see where that would, when you're 18, you're pretty much a kid too. I mean, you're learning life and you're trying to figure stuff out. But at the same time, you may have felt a little bit more connected with your daughter because you're, closer in age. But I can see where it would also be challenging because, you're still trying to learn everything. So I can see where it would have benefits and stuff like that as well.
But here's the thing I think about making mistakes as a parent, because, I had pretty good parents growing up. I mean, not perfect, of course, but pretty good parents. And every one of us kids have, we've gone through it. It's not, I could tell you stories. I had one brother that ended up in a cult, and I ended up, in a bad marriage and drug addict and the whole 9 yards. And anyway, all of us have our definite issues without a doubt. And I think, good Lord, I had good parents. And we're all a mess. What in the world are going to happen with mine? And so the realization is like, I'm saving for therapy or college, one or the other. But the reality is there isn't a perfect parent, and it all comes down to how much you love your kids. And they're going to know that. I admit to my kids all the time when I make a mistake, I'm like, Mommy shouldn't have got angry, and I'm sorry. Right. I hope you'll forgive me. And, hey, we all make mistakes, and they'll be okay. There's not a perfect parent out there, I guarantee you.
There's not. And it's crazy because like you can have the same parents and have two different children and have completely different results. Like, I'm not going to mention names, but I know someone that's, got it together, got a great job, does everything, it tries to be a good human. And then the other sibling is like, what happened? Like, were they raised by the same people, And so it depends on it. You can do the best you can as a parent and teach them right from wrong. And I try to teach my kids, like, listen, I'm not always going to be with you. Character is what you do when mommy and daddy are not around.
Absolutely.
And if that, if you're going to feel okay doing that when I'm not around, then, that's your character. And that's something you need to work on, because you lose people's trust and your integrity and all of that, and you have nothing. You just don't. And so that's the number one thing I try to teach my kids anyway. But I still catch them in white lies here and there, and pretty much every week. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding?
It is interesting though how we learn and grow. We definitely learn and grow as the years. I mean, my first 3, I was one kind of parent, and my last 2, I'm definitely a different kind of parent. And I think, they're all unique. And sometimes you can have 2 children that need to be parented in different ways, even.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. We're talking about how you can, let's see, the same parents could have 2 different kids, and one goes completely haywire and the other one's like, Sister Teresa. It's just, you can do the best that you can as a parent, but it can instill in them everything you can as a parent to try to be as good a human as humanly possible. But sometimes you get a bad egg. I mean, I don't know, but I don't have any bad eggs. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that you can get 2 different results. You can
absolutely true.
But see, the way we were parented, Sarah, and maybe you can see where I'm going with this. The way we were parented back in the 80s, and I don't think it was on our parents' fault at all, but this is the way that the church believed back then, was that it was authoritative. You were to listen to your parents, obey your parents. You weren't really allowed to, what I'm looking for, delve into your own individuality and identity. Absolutely. Because so I find myself sometimes getting into that authoritative mode. I know we're not supposed to be our best friend with our kids, but I also don't want to be an authoritative figure to where they don't come to me, for certain things, or, that they feel like they can't be individuals and be themselves. They have to fall in this strict line, and, I don't know. It's so hard to figure that middle ground,
Yep. I could talk a whole live on that issue. I went to a class. It's been a little while, but I went to a parenting class, and it was excellent. And it talked about that, about how parents, they set all these rules for you to reach. And, so that, I mean, how many times as parents did we hear, because I said so? I mean, you obey for obedience sake. And they were saying, our job is not to control our kids, it's to teach them to make wise decisions. And so you should say, okay, you can do this or you can do this. You can make whichever choice you want. This one's going to have bad consequences and this one's going to have good ones. And if they make a bad decision, okay, they deal with the consequences, but they learn that while they're underneath you, and they feel confident that they know how to make their own good decisions. See, I was never, taught that I was capable of making a good decision. I looked to them to tell me what I could and couldn't do, always. Right. And they always did. But it's
and I don't necessarily, Sarah, think it was that they were bad parents at all. I'm not saying that at all. I just think that was, you know what I mean? It was just the times that the generation back then, that's the way it was. I mean, and a lot of it was Bible-based beliefs, or the way
especially in the church. Especially in the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I try to toe that line. I catch myself doing it all the time. I'm like, if Billy Bob jumped off the top of the steeple, would you? And I brought you into this world. I could take you out. Those kinds of things. And then I catch myself, and I'm like, and I don't want them to think that I don't want them to do the right thing because I'm pounding it into their heads either. I want them to make a decision but like Sarah said, that here's the bad consequences, here's the good, and you make a choice. And there may be a choice that aligns right in the middle, where maybe you decide to go a different route or whatever. But always know there's a positive or a negative reaction. I don't even know what I'm talking about. To every action, there is a positive or negative. Who knows? See what I mean? When I try to explain something, my kids are going to be so confused.
Yeah, I also tell my kids all the time, if I make a rule that you don't understand, you're welcome to come to me and say, Mom, I don't understand why I have to do that. Would you explain it to me? And if I don't have a good reason for it, then we can do away with it. But if I can explain to you the reason why I'm thinking that, because 90% of the time the rules we make are for their good, it's because we know that's the best thing for them. But I want them to feel like they have the ability to come to me and say, hey, I don't understand why that's a rule, why I can't have candy during the school day, and I'm like, okay, I'll be glad to explain that to you, and I think it's a little more effective than the do this or else.
Right. Now, I tell you what,
we'll see.
Now, when they push me now, I'm going to tell you, Miss Riley B knows how to push my buttons. She knows. And I have to use a totally different method with her than I do my son.
Yeah, I hear you.
So my sister just messaged me, and anyway. I've learned that with her, she likes positive reinforcement. So if I promise her a gift or a trip to Wendy's to get an ice cream, I get more out of her. Wyatt is more, he doesn't want to disappoint, and he doesn't like to lose his Xbox. So I've learned that that's his currency. And I think that's important, is knowing what his currency is. You know what I mean? He will clean up this house. If I threaten to throw that Xbox in the toilet, he will make sure that room's clean. So he does not disappoint. But next question. Let's see here. What smell brings back great memories for you? Anybody else on here with us? Let us know. What smell?
I would say probably Mom cooking, and the smell of honeysuckles. That was a recent one. I smelled honeysuckles, and I was like, oh, that just takes me back to being a kid. When you used to pick them and suck them and stuff. I was like,
oh yes,
that was so fun.
Yeah, I love that smell. Hi, LaCosta. How are you? I hope I said your name right. I love honeysuckles. And we used to go to this place called White Lake. It's still there. It's a very small town in near Elizabethtown, and it's got this lake. It's a very clear lake. And my sister and I went there when we were kids with my mom and dad, and they had this gift shop. And every time we would go in this gift shop, you could smell the deflatable and inflatable rafts. So every time I smell like a raft, it just brings me back to that moment where we were shopping for rafts and floats and stuff like that.
Kind of a plastic smell. Yeah, I know the smell. I absolutely know the smell.
I don't know what it is about that smell, but and even today, we went a couple years ago and we went to the gift shop, and that smell just love it. I don't know. So
if you have a smell that brings a great memory, anybody that's watching, go ahead and let us know in the comments.
So if you see me smelling on a raft, Sarah, or I'm, don't mind me. It's
right. Now I love the smell of cookies baking or something like that. We even bought candles that smelled like that, so that we could have that smell in the house.
Let us know if you're here, ladies. I see that we got a few watchers. Please let us know in the comments. We'd love to say hi or see your face.
Yeah.
My husband's telling me Gretchen's on. Hello, Gretchen.
Hello,
How are you?
Hello. Let us
Hello.
know if you're watching.
Come out wherever you are. Out of hiding, out of quarantine. Let us know what your favorite smell that reminds you of either childhood or, divorce or whatever. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Any good smells that remind you of a time in your life that you just, was a good time. It could be a bad one too, if you've got like a bad smell.
I love the smell of the bonfire. I love the smell of a bonfire. It's one of my favorites. We used to have bonfires in our backyard before I got married. It's when I was living in a trailer, and we used to have bonfires in the backyard all the time. Had the best time. I remember burning my wedding dress in that after my divorce in a bonfire. It was fantastic.
Yes.
So he said, "Anybody got anything to burn?" And I was like, "I know the perfect thing."
Yes. Did you? Now it would be even better if you put s'mores over it. Did you make s'mores?
No, I didn't. But let me tell you, it burned so good. I mean, it totally went up in flames. It was.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was great.
I still have mine, Sarah. Do you want to have a? Well, I think my mom still has it. You want to do a bottle burning? This quarantine's over.
Bottle burning.
Let's do it. I do. I miss bonfires too. I just miss people. I miss the smell of people. That's weird. That sounded weird. Like perfume and just the smell of life. It smells like death in here half the time because we're all shoved in the four walls. I mean, if it doesn't smell like feet, it doesn't smell like bad rotten eggs. It's like.
Right.
And we don't have a house where you can open windows really well, so it just kind of. So I have to constantly leave the door cracked and so to get some air in this joint. And then don't get me started on the bathroom. That smells a whole nother animal.
Oh, I know. My husband said something about wanting to get some screens for our windows so that we could open ours.
I heard you. Sorry, Sarah. I was responding to my husband, not you. I promise. I wasn't. He was snapping at me. Hey, Gretchen, how are you, hon? It's been a long time, hon. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Very happy. Awesome. That is good news. I'm glad to hear somebody's happy during this horrible, horrible time we're going through right now. But I've seen your post, girl. Looks like you're happily in love. Got a little love bug going on.
That's awesome.
I like it. Let's see here. Let me pull up we got a couple more questions here. And let's see. What was your favorite cartoon growing up? Favorite cartoon?
I don't remember. I really don't.
Well, the thing is, Sarah, if you missed one of the cartoons, you were done. There wasn't any rewind. Right? If you missed it, you missed it. So you may have missed them all. You just don't know it. I like the Roadrunner. Yeah, I do too. I wanted the code. I thought it was Scooby-Doo. Yes.
I love Scooby-Doo. Have you seen the new movie, Scoob?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have to see it. It's so good. It's really good. Mm-hmm.
My daughter. Go ahead and let them see your mask. This is what I deal with.
Hey, Shannon.
Hello, Shannon. Yes, Scooby-Doo was one of my favorites, but I loved Wile E. Coyote. I could feel his pain. He wanted so bad to get revenge, and it just never happened. It just never happened. I liked Sylvester the cat too, and Tom and Jerry. Yeah. No, Sylvester was Bugs Bunny. Sylvester was Bugs Bunny. Yeah. Yeah. And Elmer Fudd.
Flintstones, that's another good one.
That is another good one. Popeye I like Popeye too, and Olive Oil. What's another one? Who?
I watched cartoons every Saturday morning.
I did too. And another thing, do you remember back when we were growing up, is after church on Sundays, there was the Walt Disney movie. And I'd get so mad if church ran over and I missed that. Oh, I'd get so mad.
I wasn't allowed to watch Disney movies.
You weren't?
Or Smurfs. I couldn't watch the Smurfs either.
No.
Or My Little Pony. I couldn't watch My Little Pony. So
no, My Little Pony. So I could, Smurfs was kind of off limits because you had Gargamel and Azrael, which were considered satanic. And then, of course, there was only one girl.
So were Pegasuses and Unicorn and all that kind of stuff. They were supposedly, I don't know, some book came out about how they were Satan's alternative to what God had made. I don't believe that, just so we make it clear. But
oh God, I remember that like yesterday. Like, you did not watch the Smurfs or you're going to hell. I mean, it was like the other one. It was Care Bears. I think they had a problem with Care Bears, to be honest.
Yeah, they did. I did have Care Bears though, but I didn't watch the show. I was only allowed to have them.
I did. What was it? What was up with the Care Bear? Because one of them, like, what?
It was those things on their belly that stood for different things. Like, I don't know, Lucky. That Lucky was one of them, and
Lucky. So Lucky was considered like gambling or something.
I don't know. I mean, haven't you ever heard you're not lucky, you're blessed?
No, I haven't. I didn't know what the problem is with Care Bears. I had the sunny one.
Well,
I had the one.
I'm way more entrenched in that stuff than you. You have no idea. It's crazy.
What was the other one?
Thank God it's not like that now.
That had nothing to do with it. I hated Peppa Pig. I wanted to shoot myself when Peppa Pig came. I mean, this girl would play Peppa Pig all day long, and then there was
Jennifer.
Who?
Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer. Now, I love. Now, let's see, Jennifer. We're talking about the Smurfs. I don't know if you missed that conversation. We're talking about what was considered demonic, as when we brought it up. Okay, and it was the Smurfs and God, what was some other ones?
Mickey Mouse.
No, who?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse had some controversy too. Now they did. That's
why I wasn't allowed to watch Disney, because I think it started with the whole. What was that movie? That Mickey Mouse movie where he was
fantasy. He was a wizard. He was a wizard.
He was.
He was a wizard. Yes. And
what's the name of that? What is the name of that movie?
Was it? It was fantasy something. Oh God, Fantasia. Fantasia. That's what it was. It was. Yep. That's exactly what it was. Because they had wizardry. Oh, right. I mean, I remember specifically the Smurfs. I remember them saying Azrael and Gargamel were satanic. Right. Like, and then there was one girl, and she must have been because she's living with all these guys in sin, living in sin. I don't know what the problem was. I never did understand that.
Hey, Angela. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Angela. I hesitated for years. Like, I don't really get into wizardry and all that. Anyway, I still to this day will not. I don't even like the word Ouija board, like, even spoken.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
I mean, that was ingrained in our brain that, like, do not,
I don't know. That one's kind of crossed the line for me still.
I would never have done it. I would never have done it just because I was so super scared of that anyway. Until this day, like, if I see a movie and they're talking about Ouija board, I'm like, turn it. Freaks me out every time.
Oh boy,
that's funny. Crazy times. It was just so, like, no wonder. No, I mean, I couldn't have been a parent back then. I don't know how my mom did it. I would have been failing so bad. Anybody else have some stories about cartoons they weren't allowed to watch when they were growing up, or favorite cartoons they loved? I don't know how we got off topic on that, but it was kind of funny actually. But yeah. And then one cartoon I loved watching with my son was
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. I know a lot of people get irritated with SpongeBob, but I just love SpongeBob. I don't know why. There's so many different characters that, like, represent my personality. Maybe, I don't know.
No, please. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I got off track on that. Anybody else have a cartoon that they remember? Let's see.
Denise says she loves SpongeBob.
I do too. I don't know. I love Squidward and Mr. Krabs and the what's the snail's name? Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
I love Gary. I could watch him all day. Let's see here. Okay, so the last question of the night is, let's see, what is your favorite genre of movies? Favorite genre of movies?
Wait, what?
Genre means like it's a certain like comedy, drama, horror.
Horror.
I'm not sure this is even a genre, but I like suspenseful movies. Like, I don't like to be able to know, like, be able to figure out what's going to happen in the movie.
Thriller.
Huh?
Thriller.
Well, not
It is.
necessarily scary movies, but ones that just have a twist, like a suspense. They have a twist that you didn't expect. We watched a real good one this weekend on Netflix, Den of Thieves. It was
What was
really
it?
good.
Den of Thieves? Den of Thieves?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch
it ended a way I was totally not expecting, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. So
I'll have to
Denise
check that
said
out.
romantic comedy.
Yes, I love romantic comedies. I do.
My favorite's horror.
I love the romantic comedy Bridesmaids. That thing cracks me up every time I watch it. I cannot with Melissa McCarthy.
Mine is
Yes,
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. That was another one. Yeah. I didn't let my kids watch it either. I actually didn't let my kids watch SpongeBob either. I'm going to confess. My 20-year-old, she did. She watched it, but my younger ones, I wouldn't let them watch it.
I would have so failed. I would have so failed as a fundamentalist Baptist mom. They would have had me out of there. Like, get that harlot out of here.
Oh.
I would have had the biggest scarlet letter on my chest. I mean, no, bad mom. Yeah,
No, but
I
I
couldn't
heard
have
the same
survived.
thing. I heard the same thing about Teletubbies, that was bad.
Yeah, I did too.
But
I did too.
that's funny. Anybody else got a favorite genre of movie before we wrap it up? What was your favorite, Sharon?
I like suspense, thriller type movies. The occasional horror movie, not blood and guts horror, just like scary. You know, like Conjuring. You know, but I have to be with somebody. That's not something I want to watch by myself.
No way.
I love comedies. I love dramas. I love a good, realistic story that's about a true story. I love inspirational. I love them all. I just love movies. I could watch.
I like inspirational movies too. I really do. But yeah. Anybody else?
Anybody?
I'm gonna wrap it up here in a minute. Guys, be sure you check out our page. If you have not moved over from Sisters Against Secret Shame to Sharon and Sarah Shenanigans, please do that, because we're going to be wrapping the other one up here pretty soon. We don't want to lose anybody.
Right.
Also, we put out a fantastic Girls Night Out video last week, full of lots of laughs. Please take a look at it. And also, there's some blogs and our 2-Minute Topic Tuesday addressing the issues going on in our country today. And take a minute, go to the page and check them out and comment. Let us know what you think about some stuff. Let's get involved in each other's lives. We really want to create a tribe here, a community of women. So jump on in there, comment. If you don't agree, let's have a conversation. That's the whole point. Right. Let's have a conversation. I would love for you guys to voice your opinions, your thoughts about everything going on, or just have some fun. We got some great funny stuff on there too. Vampires. You like to watch vampires? Like, I liked the Twilight movies, Angela. They were good, but I'm not really into vampires all across the board.
Yeah. I'm not into fantasy like scary. I'm into more like realistic serial killer like stuff. Like, why do we like that kind of stuff anyway? I don't know.
I liked the Final Destinations, but I don't get into the terribly, terribly scary.
Yeah, I don't know what's. But yeah, ladies, please join us. We've got a funny video coming out tomorrow or Friday, depending on if these videos take a long time to get together. So we're doing our best to get them out on Thursdays, but sometimes it happens on Fridays. But we've got some really good material, some good videos, and we're building our characters, guys. If you haven't seen the one where the girls' night out, you've got to watch it. Those characters are going to be amazing as we continue to develop them in other skits and things. So it's basically about all kinds of different women that have different personalities, and we all accept each other for our differences and our different opinions and things like that. And so we really want you guys to see that, so you can see those characters and plots develop and see what sisterhood is. So, but anyway, thank you for being here with us tonight. As always, we appreciate you for being here and showing us support and love, and we love you, and we're happy that you're here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys, and we will see you next week at 8.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.